Happy Sunday. Okay, so things are about to get really weird in this video because God wants me to sing. As if videos weren't awkward enough for me. Singing, for those who know me, you know it's just not my spiritual gift. So this is huge for me. This is really hard for me, actually, especially pride-wise, because typically I only like doing things that I'm good at. So all of this, humbling. But I know that today God needs you to hear this. And the bottom line is that God knew what he was getting into when he called you. He knew what he was getting into when he chose you and me and the person next to you. God knew what he was getting into. He knew everything about you. He knew every way. He knows you more intricately than you know yourself. He knows you more intricately than anyone in your life knows you. He knew exactly what you were going to do. He knew how you were going to hurt yourself. He knew how you were going to hurt others. He knew every time you were going to mess up and sin. He knew every time someone was going to hurt you. He knew every obstacle that would come in your path along the journey. He knew that. Nothing about your life right now surprises him. Nothing. No sin, no addiction, no brokenness. Nothing you have done takes him by surprise. Everything about who you are, he has chosen. Everything. And he will use every single negative thing, every way that you've messed up, every way that people have hurt you. He will use everything in your life for his good and for the glory of his kingdom and for your good if you let him. And so this song today, praying that you don't go deaf, is just, you just imagine, just close your eyes and imagine it's the Lord singing it to you. Just in a much better tone. Okay. I knew what I was getting into when I called you. I knew what I was getting into when I said your name, but I said it just the same. I knew what I was getting into, and I want you. I knew what I was getting into, and I said your name, said it just the same. You're only at the beginning, you've only just begun, and I know where you are going, when all you can see is the moment that you're failing. When all you can see is the moment that you're aching. But listen, I knew what I was getting into when I called you. I knew what I was getting into when I said your name, but I said it just the same. I knew what I was getting into, and I still like you. I knew what I was getting into, but I said your name, said it just the same. He knew what he was getting into when he chose you. He knows your darkness. He knows your failures. He knows your pains. And he is big enough to heal and forgive and bless every single thing that is dark in you, to use it to bring light and glory and love to everyone around you. He has such a beautiful purpose for your life. Beautiful purpose. I pray you don't miss that. I pray that you know that he knew, the God of all creation knew what he was getting into when he chose you. And there's a job that only you can do. So I pray you would rise up and you'd get over yourself and you'd get over your sin and you would start to walk with a victor mentality and not a victim mentality, knowing that your God will give you everything you need to overcome. And he already is. And it might not happen instantaneously and you might need help along the way. But he knew what he was getting into when he chose you and when he called you. Live your life on purpose. I love you guys.